Imagine if someone could predict the future of your marriage, not by reading your mind, not by looking at your wedding photos, but simply by watching how you talk to each other. A marriage expert spent decades studying more than 3,000 couples. He watched them laugh, he watched them argue, he watched them discuss ordinary things most people would never notice. And what he discovered shocked the world. He could often predict which marriages would survive and which marriages would fail, not years later, sometimes within minutes. The difference came down to 7 principles, 7 habits practiced by the strongest couples and ignored by many of the couples who eventually drifted apart. Today, I want to share those 7 principles with you. Because many marriages do not end from a lack of love. They end from a lack of understanding. Stay with me. One of these principles may change the way you see your relationship forever. There is something important I have learned about marriage. Love is powerful, but love alone is not enough. 2 people can love each other deeply and still hurt each other and still misunderstand each other. A strong marriage requires more than emotion. It requires wisdom. It requires intention. It requires daily choices. The small things people do when nobody is watching. The 7 principles you are about to hear come from decades of research and observation. And before we begin, pay special attention to Principle 7. Many believe it is the foundation that holds all the others together. Let us begin. The first principle is simple. Know your partner's inner world. Most people think they know their spouse because they know the basics, their favorite food, their routine, their habits, their preferences. But that is not the inner world. The inner world is much deeper. It is where fears live, where hopes live, where silent struggles live. The truth is this: people are constantly changing. The person you married years ago is not exactly the same person today. Their experiences change them. Their victories change them. Their disappointments change them. And if you stop learning about them, you slowly begin living beside a stranger. Many couples do not drift apart because they stop loving each other. They drift apart because they stop being curious about each other. Ask questions, real questions, questions that go beneath the surface. What worries you lately? What has been on your mind? What dream are you still holding on to? What burden are you carrying alone? These questions create connection. They make people feel seen. And one of the greatest gifts you can give your partner is the feeling of being understood. That is the first principle, know their inner world. The second principle is often forgotten, never stop admiring each other. Think back to the beginning. What first attracted you to them? Perhaps it was their kindness, their confidence, their sense of humor. Something about them made you say, that is the person I want beside me. But over time, something dangerous happens. Familiarity creates blindness. You stop noticing what is beautiful, and you begin noticing only the flaws, the habits, the frustrations. Without realizing it, admiration slowly disappears. The strongest marriages protect admiration intentionally. They do not wait to feel grateful. They choose gratitude. They speak appreciation. They notice effort. They celebrate growth. Tell your partner what you admire about them today. Do not assume they already know. People need to hear it. The words you withhold may be the very words they need most. That is the second principle, nurture fondness and admiration. Principle 3, turn toward each other.
The third principle may seem small at first, but its impact is enormous.
Every day, your partner sends invitations to connect. Most people never notice them. Sometimes the invitation is a question. Sometimes it is a story. Sometimes it is as simple as saying, look at that beautiful sunset. To many people, that sounds like a meaningless comment. But the sunset is not the point, connection is the point. In that moment, your partner is reaching toward you. They are saying, share this moment with me. And every time that happens, you have a choice. You can ignore them, you can stay distracted, or you can turn toward them and engage. You can listen, you can respond, you can show interest. These moments may seem tiny, but they are never insignificant. Strong marriages are built through thousands of tiny moments. Moments of attention, moments of affection, moments of understanding. Each one becomes another brick in the foundation. But when these moments are ignored, something else begins to happen. Distance grows quietly, not suddenly, not dramatically. Principle 4, let your partner influence you. The fourth principle requires something many people struggle with: humility. Many marriages suffer because one person always needs to be right. They want the final word, the final decision, the final victory. But marriage was never meant to be a competition. It was meant to be a partnership. A healthy marriage allows both voices to matter. Notice I did not say both voices always agree. Agreement is goal, respect is. When people feel respected, they stay engaged. When people feel ignored, they begin to withdraw. At first, they stop sharing small opinions. Then they stop sharing important opinions. And eventually, they stop sharing altogether. That silence is dangerous. Not because it is loud, but because it is quiet. A marriage rarely collapses overnight. It weakens little by little. So ask your partner what they think. And when they answer, listen carefully, not to prepare your response, not to defend yourself, but to truly understand what they are saying. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is allow yourself to be influenced. Because growth becomes possible when pride steps aside. That is the fourth principle: let your partner influence you. Principle 5. Solve the problems that can be solved. Every marriage has problems. That does not mean every marriage is failing. Disagreements are normal. They become dangerous only when they are ignored. Some couples argue about money every single month. Others argue about housework, parenting, or how they communicate. These are difficult problems, but many of them can be solved. The mistake is pretending they will disappear on their own. They rarely do. A small misunderstanding left unattended often becomes a deep wound. And a deep wound, if ignored, slowly becomes resentment. Resentment is dangerous, grows quietly. It steals patience, it steals kindness, it steals joy. So when a problem can be solved, do not delay. Calm moment, sit down together. Speak honestly, but with kindness. And when your partner speaks, listen without interrupting. Your goal is not to win the conversation. Your goal is to strengthen the relationship. When both people work against the problem instead of against each other, the marriage becomes stronger. That is the fifth principle. Solve the problems that can be solved. The sixth principle is one of the hardest. Overcome gridlock. What is gridlock? It is the conflict that never seems to end. The same frustration, the same pain. Over and over again, perhaps, one of you wants another child, while the other feels your family is complete. Perhaps one of you dreams of moving, while the other wants to stay where life feels familiar. These are not small disagreements. They touch your deepest hopes and values. The mistake many couples make is trying to force the other person to surrender. But love does not grow through force. It grows through understanding. Instead of asking, "How do I win this argument?" ask a different question. What does this mean to my partner? Why is it so important to them? Behind every strong opinion is usually a deeper need for security, a need for respect, a need for purpose. When you understand the need, you stop fighting the person. And together, you begin facing the problem. You may not always find the perfect solution, but you can often find a path that honors both hearts. That is what mature love does. It chooses understanding before victory. That is the sixth principle: overcome gridlock with compassion. Principle 7, create shared meaning. And now we come to the seventh principle, the one that quietly holds all the others together. Create shared meaning. Marriage is more than sharing a house, more than paying bills, more than raising children. Marriage is two people building a life that has purpose. A home is not remembered because of its size. It is remembered because of the love that lived inside it. A morning prayer, an evening walk, a conversation before bed. These simple moments become the story of their marriage. They also share values that guide every decision they make. They ask, what kind of family are we becoming? What do we want our children to remember about this home? When people share a purpose, difficult seasons become easier to endure. Because they are no longer carrying the weight alone, they are carrying it together. Storms will come, every marriage faces them. But a marriage built on shared meaning has something strong to hold on to. So ask yourselves this simple question. What are we building together? What kind of legacy will our love leave behind? That is the 7th principle, create shared meaning. 7 principles, 7 opportunities to build a stronger marriage. If your relationship is struggling today, do not lose hope. Healthy marriages are not built by perfect people. Thank you for spending these moments with me. I truly hope these 7 principles bring more understanding, peace, and love into your home. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 principles do you think every couple should practice? If this video helped you, please give it a like and share it with someone you care about. Sometimes one message can strengthen an entire relationship. And if you want to build a stronger marriage and healthier relationships, watch the next video on your screen. It continues this conversation with practical wisdom you won't want to miss. Thank you for watching The Wise Voice Talk. Take care of yourself, take care of those you love, and I'll see you in the next video.